Hello, and welcome to my presentation on my community by Justine Pickup. Little back information, I live in a very small rural community. We have one red light, and if you drive through us, you're definitely going to miss it. In the beginning, I'm going to be going back and forth between this presentation, and I'm also going to be using Google Earth just to kind of show you where exactly we are on the map. Using Google Earth, I do want to show you where we are. So taking a little tour here, you can see we're in Pennsylvania, central PA for that matter. We live between Lewistown and Selinsgrove, about 25 and 30 miles for each of those. And then we are about an hour and a half south from Williamsport and about an hour north of Harrisburg. That kind of helps people to more understand where we are. As you can see, McAllisterville is a very rural area. This is our town right in here. Most of what we have surrounding it is agricultural. Farmland, homes, trees, wooded area. Everything you see here, it's mostly farmland. Any way you look at it, north, south, east, west, we are surrounded by it. Zooming in, I do want to show you just a little bit from our little town here. As I said, we're one red light town. It's right here. And then we are at the intersection. We do have a little bit going for us. As you can see, we do have some ballparks, some tennis courts. We do have a community park. We have some churches. We do have a firehouse here. We have a little gas station over here. And up the road, we do have a bank and we have two restaurants. And although it wasn't created at the time, they were in the middle of building it, this area right here is now a Dollar General store. But as you can see, very small area, mostly towns, and then, like I said, a lot of agricultural. Jumping back to our presentation here, I would like to kind of jump into it and show you what we got going on here. So, when last updated, 2019, city data showed that the population was right around 3,648. Prior to that, in 2010, we were at 3,360, and before that, in 2000, we were at 3,132. So, not much of an increase in a 19-year span, but it is slowly growing. We have approximately 1,243 houses, apartments, and/or condos. Of those, about 19%, 214 are occupied by renters. Estimated at 91 people per square mile compared to state averages, that is extremely low. This this pie chart was given to me by City Data, and it shows the races in McAllisterville. We are about 97.4% white, 1.5% Hispanic, 0.6% Black, 0.2% Asian, and 0.3% is about two or more races. Stats again are acquired from city data show that not much difference, but females come in at 50.4%, as in males are at 49.6%. For age distributions in McAllisterville, again, the graph was provided by city data. It shows that we range between infancy and about 85 years of age. The highest population that we have is about 15, 16-year-old males, showing right here. And the lowest population that we have is elderly males coming in right down here between 0 and 10. So mainly a younger population is growing in the area. As far as education, information again found from city data, those living in McAllisterville make up about 86.6% for a high school diploma or higher, 21% for a bachelor's degree or higher, about 4.5% for a graduate or professional degree or higher. And while it's not shown here, about 1.2% of our population is unemployed. For marital status, about 27.3% of individuals were never married, 59.6% are currently married, 0% separated, 4.8% widowed, and 8.3% divorced. Again, stats were acquired from citydata.com. For crime rates in McAllisterville, information was gotten from Crime Grade. It listed McAllisterville as A minus for crime. It states that about every 7 days and 14 hours on average, crime happens. Chances of being a victim are extremely low. So for assault, the crime rate is right around 1.7%. Robbery is at 0.8%. Rape is at 0.32%. Murder is at 0.04%. Property crime theft is at 3.4%. Vehicle theft is at 0.50%. Burglary is at 2.5%. Arson is at 0.01%. Drug crime is at 0.98%. Kidnapping is at 0.02%. Vandalism is at 3.3%. Identity theft is at 1.5%. And animal cruelty is at 0.0059%. Some major employers in our area, some were mentioned earlier. We don't have many, but we do have Rosewood Markets, which is our local gas station. We have the Dollar General, and we have 2 restaurants, the Bread of Life and the OIP. We also have the Sunbeam Learning Center, which is childcare. We have 2 churches in McAllisterville. We have Trinity Lutheran Church, which is where Sunbeam Learning Center is, and we also have Lost Creek Presbyterian Church. As far as community celebrations, not much happens in our small town, but once a year, the Fayette EMS and Fire Company throw a yearly carnival at the fire station and the community park. Happens the first week of August, runs from Tuesday through Saturday. Wednesday nights are fireworks. Throughout the week, people enter the silent auction that is completed on Saturday evening. During this time, the EMS and fire personnel also have a chicken barbecue, and Saturday is a community parade, which gets lots of excitement. Here's just some pictures from our carnival, the chicken barbecue, and just our annual flyer for the carnival. Here are pictures from the parade. Because fire and EMS do throw it, they are always involved in it. And every year there's a theme going on. For this particular year, I believe it was Disney. Just some map views of McAllisterville, just to kind of show you what we got going on in our town, just to kind of give you different views from different points of entry. As far as a good community, the reading article that we were supposed to use was Ohio State University Extension. It lists 9 factors that make up a good community. Of those, McAllisterville doesn't hit all of them, but we do hit a good many of them. As far as safety, we're relatively very safe community. We have a low crime rate, as indicated before. We rarely have tornadoes, floods, hurricanes. We don't have heavy amounts of traffic coming through. We have a clean water system, clean air to breathe. Living in a small community, we do have some setbacks for goods and services. However, we do have the local gas station that provides fuel. We also have the Dollar General that provides food, toiletries, and things until we can get out to bigger locations for bigger hauls. Our community comes together. We have binds that create overall values and goals. For example, last year, a family had a fire. The husband did survive, but wife succumbed to her injuries. But the community came together. We had fundraisers. We had different family gatherings to raise money for the family. So when things do happen, we do come together. We do we do show our unity as one. As far as predictability, it's a small town, so not a lot happens. And when something does happen, most of us are aware of it. A couple years ago, there was a van going around in surrounding areas kidnapping kids. Thankfully, it didn't happen in our area, but we were aware of it. We knew what was going on. We kept a lookout. We shared stories around like if we saw it. So like we came together. We knew what was going on in our town. Um, Very little city living happening in this town. People know one another. We communicate. While we're walking around town, we say hi to each other. We share stories at local gatherings. Community is not as diverse as larger areas, but it's very welcoming to new people. Downfall to living in such a small area, not many opportunities for its residents. We do have little employment opportunities, as I showed you earlier, and most people have to travel for work to make a decent living. Myself, I travel 35 minutes to get to my job. My husband travels an hour. Most people living in our town are traveling an hour or more to their jobs. Despite not having all the characteristics listed in the article, I do believe McAllisterville to be a good community for those living in it. While there are some negatives, it is my opinion that the positives do outweigh the negatives. I am a proud member to be in this community, and I'm thankful to live here every day. References for this presentation were provided by City Data, Crime Grade, and Ohio State University Extension. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.